Hi, I'm Arceel, and welcome to my presentation on the D&D Barbarian, or the Wall. So what exactly does the Barbarian do? To put it simply, you smash, you bash, you crash, and most importantly, you rage. In battle, you can enter a rage as a bonus action, giving you advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, a +2 bonus to the damage rolls of melee weapon attacks that you use using strength, and also resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Notice how that doesn't say non-magical. This is important for your class role as a barbarian, and well, walling a lot of hits, as opposed to your more squishy party members. There's also this little fine print here that says you can't cast spells or concentrate on them while raging. That's kind of stupid, in my opinion. Your rage lasts for 1 minute, or 10 rounds, and it is ended early if you're knocked unconscious, your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn, or you have taken damage, or you haven't taken damage since then. They also revised it in the 2024 rulebooks to make it so that your rage can't continue if you take damage, which I think is really stupid. Sure, now you can continue your rage by forcing an enemy to make a saving throw, but you can't even cast spells, which would be better to have your enemy make a saving throw than some other abilities. Or you can just take a bonus action to extend your rage. Either way, I don't like it. Bad. Onto your Barbarian boons. You have the largest hit die of any class at D12. You have your rage, and of course, some rage bonuses in things such as Relentless Rage and Persistent Rage. With Relentless Rage, if you drop 0 hit points while you're raging, you can just make a Constitution saving throw at steadily increasing difficulties to just make your hit points your Barbarian level instead. It starts at 10, not too bad. This is essentially the Relentless Endurance of the Half-Orc, or I guess now just Orc, which is pretty good, I must say. With Persistent Rage, when you roll initiative, if you don't have your rages, you gain your rages again. Once per long rest, but still. And this just lets you enter your rage more and be resistant to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage even more. In a minor sense, there's also Primal Champion, which increases your constitution, so more health, which lets you tank better, and your strength, which you're a melee fighter, so more strength is always good, to a max of 24 as well, so you can never be like too good to gain the benefits of Primal Champion. It's your level 20 ability, so like, I know most groups probably don't even get there. It's not the strongest level 20 ability. I'm pretty sure it's pretty middle of the road. It's still good enough. Now onto your Barbarian Banes. Relentless Attack. This might be a little controversial. I don't think Relentless Attack is good for the Barbarian. You get advantage on your attacks. Great, awesome. Everything has advantage against you. Combining that with only getting 1 extra attack at level 5 and your surprisingly low damage output for being seen as this really strong class, Relentless Attack doesn't do much for you, and in fact, kind of maybe hurts you a bit depending on the situation. At least that's how it seemed whenever my players played a Barbarian. So it just doesn't help you with that whole tanking role, which I think is the way Barbarian should be played. A lot of abilities are telling you to do that, and then Relentless Attack says, no, things are gonna hit you. Furthermore, like combat, get into combat how? You don't have a lot of mobility options to rush into combat, if that matters. You would assumably be on the front lines most of the times, but if you aren't, rough. Also, can you just get back to the whole thing of no rage mage? Like why can't we cast spells while raging? Under the text, you see Sarkon Vol, a mage from Magic the Gathering, and he's kind of spicy. He is what you could call, say, a mad wizard, or even an infuriate sorcerer. Perhaps an aggravated warlock, or angry spellcaster, dare I say a rage mage. This is some standard classic fantasy just stuff. But no, you can't do that. Nuh-uh. Me personally, I would homebrew that little thing out, or at least change it a little bit. Just why? Also, the Barbarian kind of needs 3 stats, and that can be sort of hard to work around, depending on how you generate stats too. This is why Gish characters are kind of bad unless you can use your spellcasting ability as your melee attack or just weapon attack ability too, a la Hexblade, because you want your strength to be good so you can hit in combat better. You want your dex to be good so that you can dodge attacks better and helps you be a little bit tankier by not taking as many hits. You want your constitution to be up so you can have more health so you can tank better, but also because of your unarmored defense, it helps with your AC too. So that's 3 whole stats, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when that's 50%, and that's kind of a bit. Now we're getting to the subclasses. First and foremost, we have your Berserker. Standard, classic, barbarian, angry, get into your rage, get rage bonuses. Good enough. You got your Totem Warrior, or your Wild Hearts, where you get to choose between different animal spirits that give you powers like the wolf, the bear, and the hawk, I believe. It's okay, you can say you're a furry. It's alright. This is a judgment-free zone. There's no need to hide it, okay? We also get this little bit of art from my friend. The character that this is based on was another player character. They weren't a barbarian, but I need you all to suffer with me. Next, you have the Path of the World tree. I guess you take big tree and you hit people with it. I think that's how this works. Correct me if I'm wrong. You get this little ability called Vitality of the Tree, which gives you temporary hit points equal to your Barbarian level. Hey, the Barbarian is getting more tanky. This is surely what the Barbarian should be doing instead of using Relentless Attack. Please make it better. You also get your Life-Giving Force so other people can also get temporary hit points. Just more tanky stuff. The subclass does get other abilities, but those abilities don't align with my agenda, so I will not be showing them here. Next up, we have the Zealot. Zealot, something. So what if we took clerics and made them angry? You will notice a pattern going forward with the barbarian subclasses. So that's essentially what they do. Channel the divine wrath of the gods, their anger. You get this little ability called Warrior of the Gods, where you have a pool of D12 so you can use to heal yourself in the middle of combat. Hey, the barbarian getting tankier, please make your barbarians this way. It helps all of us, because the rest of us are very squishy, actually. The Zealot does get other abilities, but those don't align with my agenda, so I'll not be showing them here. Next, we have the Ancestral Guardian. This is a barbarian who takes pride in family relations and their old ancestors, a family guy, if you will. And instead of getting abilities that make them tankier, you solve the age-old problem of what happens if the enemy just doesn't attack me and attacks the squishier party members. Good news, your ancestors will harass them into attacking you instead. Next, we have the Storm Herald. So what if we took the destructive power of nature and made it angry? Okay, this one's kind of weird. They take the sort of totem barbarian idea of choosing between 3 different things upon a level up for abilities, but instead of animals, now it's different environments. You get the existent trifecta of sea, desert, and tundra. I don't know how those correlate, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. Next, you have the Wild Magic Barbarian. What if you took fairies but made them angry? You're just a melee wild magic sorcerer. Instead of casting spells, you cast sword. And you have your own little sort of wild magic surge, except it's less wild magic-y, and you get it upon starting a rage, so it's more controllable. It's alright, I think. Next, we have the Path of the Beast. So what if we took a bear and made it angry? You're just channeling the wild savagery of animals and using it to hone your own barbaric abilities. You're also a fur. And that was my presentation on The Wall. Overall, it's cool at least. I think there should be more abilities about it being, a wall and walling damage. Do something else with Relentless Attack. Right now, it doesn't seem that great. Sure, it's a second level ability, but other classes get really good second level abilities, and even really good first level abilities. I'm just saying, you could do something else with it. The subclasses overall are mild. It's just thing but angry, because barbarian, rage, not a lot of flavor to it in my opinion, but they get the job done, and at least they have some wacky-ish ideas, even if it is just thing but angry. Anyhow, that's my opinion on the barbarian. Go ahead and say how much you agree with my propaganda, or how I'm actually very stupid and wrong and not an intellectual enough to know how the barbarian smashes and crashes and rages properly. Either worked for me.